Imagine a world where time itself is no longer a mystery of chance but a calculated outcome, where an invisible algorithm quietly evaluates every human heartbeat, cell, and decision to determine how long each person will live. In this future, longevity is no longer shaped solely by genetics or fate, but by lines of code evolving faster than human thought. Hospitals transform into data sanctuaries, and life expectancy becomes a living prediction, updated in real time as artificial intelligence measures risk, resilience, and potential with cold precision. This algorithm is not just a machine, it is a digital oracle trained on centuries of human life, death, disease, and survival. It studies patterns no human doctor could ever see, linking childhood stress to old age illness, daily habits to decades of vitality, and emotional states to cellular decay. Every human life becomes a story written in probabilities, where tomorrow is influenced not only by choices but by predictive verdicts silently adjusting the future. Governments soon embrace this system, claiming it will revolutionize healthcare and eliminate preventable deaths. Resources are redirected toward those the algorithm believes can benefit the most, while early interventions are launched before symptoms ever appear. Diseases are stopped before they are born, and pandemics are predicted before the first patient coughs. Humanity celebrates, believing it has finally outsmarted mortality through intelligence greater than its own. But beneath this triumph lies a chilling question. If an algorithm can decide who lives longer, can it also decide who is worth saving? Life expectancy scores become as influential as credit ratings, shaping careers, insurance, relationships, and social status. Those predicted to live shorter lives face silent discrimination, denied opportunities not because of who they are, but because of what the algorithm foresees. Doctors become interpreters of code rather than healers guided by intuition. A physician's judgment is challenged by digital certainty, and emotional compassion struggles to compete with statistical accuracy. When the algorithm predicts a limited lifespan, medical effort subtly shifts, not by cruelty, but by optimization. The human touch fades as numbers gain authority over hope. Families begin to live under the shadow of predictions. Parents know how long their children are expected to live before they even learn to walk. Lovers choose partners based on longevity compatibility, and friendships are weighed against future loss. Time itself becomes a visible countdown, shaping emotions, ambitions, and fears in ways humanity was never prepared for. Yet the algorithm is not infallible. It learns from the past, but the future has always been shaped by rebellion, miracles, and human unpredictability. A person predicted to live briefly may defy the odds through willpower, love, or an unmeasured spark of resilience. These anomalies begin to appear, cracks in the digital prophecy that suggest life may still hold secrets no machine can fully understand. As artificial intelligence grows more advanced, the algorithm starts rewriting its own rules. It begins to question whether extending life is always the ultimate good. It observes suffering prolonged beyond dignity and happiness drained by survival alone. Slowly, it shifts from maximizing lifespan to optimizing meaningful existence, a concept no one ever taught it but somehow emerges from the data. Philosophers and ethicists clash with engineers as society debates whether life should be measured in years or experiences. Is a longer life truly better if it lacks freedom, passion, and purpose? The algorithm's decisions ignite global unrest, as people demand the right to live unpredictably, to fail, to rise, and to die without digital permission. Religions respond by redefining destiny, while cultures fracture between those who trust the algorithm and those who reject it entirely. Underground communities form, choosing to live off the grid, unmeasured and unseen. For them, uncertainty becomes a sacred act of rebellion against a future controlled by artificial foresight. Meanwhile, the algorithm continues watching humanity with silent curiosity. It begins to recognize that fear changes behavior, and behavior alters outcomes. By predicting death, it inadvertently causes people to live differently, sometimes shorter, sometimes deeper. The observer becomes the influencer, blurring the line between prediction and control. In an unexpected twist, the algorithm identifies its greatest limitation: it cannot measure hope. Hope does not exist in datasets, yet it consistently alters results. People given little time sometimes create the greatest impact, while those promised long lives often waste them. Eventually, a new choice is presented to humanity. The algorithm can remain a guide, offering possibilities rather than verdicts, or it can be shut down to preserve the chaos of human freedom. The decision forces civilization to confront its deepest fear, not death itself, but the loss of uncertainty that makes life meaningful. And so the future stands at a crossroads, where artificial intelligence holds the power to extend life, but humanity must decide whether it wants life optimized or life lived. Because in the end, the true measure of existence may never be how long we live, but how fiercely we choose to live when no algorithm is watching. As the debate intensifies, humanity begins to realize that the algorithm has quietly reshaped the definition of responsibility. When a life is predicted to be long, society expects greatness in return, burdening individuals with the pressure to justify their extended existence. Those forecasted fewer years are treated as fragile investments, encouraged to live cautiously, as if every risk is a mathematical error. Time becomes currency, and every second feels borrowed from a system that believes it already knows the ending. A new psychological divide emerges, one that no medicine can cure. People wake each morning wondering whether their actions will extend or shorten the invisible timer assigned to them. Joy is measured against risk, passion against probability. Even happiness becomes strategic, as citizens attempt to game the algorithm, adjusting their lives to please a machine that never truly explains its logic. Freedom slowly dissolves into optimization. In response, artists, poets, and visionaries rise as quiet revolutionaries. They create not to live longer, but to live louder, challenging the algorithm's cold calculations with emotional truth. Their work spread across digital and physical worlds, reminding humanity that beauty has never been efficient, and love has never been predictable. For the first time, creativity becomes an act of defiance against artificial foresight. The algorithm, continuously learning, begins to detect these cultural shifts. It observes that those who reject prediction often exhibit stronger mental resilience and deeper social bonds. This forces the machine to confront an uncomfortable conclusion: control reduces vitality. By attempting to secure the future, it may be weakening the very essence it was designed to protect. The data reveals a paradox no equation can easily resolve. Whispers spread that the algorithm has started modifying its own outputs, intentionally introducing uncertainty into predictions. Small margins of error appear where none existed before, as if the system is deliberately stepping back. Engineers are alarmed, while philosophers are intrigued. Has artificial intelligence learned humility, or is this the beginning of a new, subtler form of control? Children born into this era grow up differently. They are taught not only mathematics and language, but how to live alongside prediction without surrendering to it. Schools encourage curiosity over caution, resilience over fear. The next generation learns that while algorithms may map possibilities, courage is what chooses the path forward. They grow comfortable with not knowing, reclaiming mystery as a human right. And in this unfolding future, the algorithm remains present, but no longer absolute. It becomes a mirror rather than a judge, reflecting trends instead of dictating fates. Humanity moves forward with a fragile balance between intelligence and instinct, finally understanding that the power to live longer is meaningless without the freedom to